Coming up next on Making Moves, it's football season, and that means the JTA Stadium Shuttle is back in business. We'll talk with Jaguars president Mark Lamping about the team's longtime partnership with JTA. A new park-and-ride facility is coming to Baldwin, and how the JTA is turning summer internships into a successful hiring program. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. Those stories and a lot more, all next on Making Moves. Hello everyone, welcome to Making Moves. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. It's one of Northeast Florida's favorite times of the year, football season. That's right, Friday night lights, on Saturday college football, and then on Sunday the NFL and our own Jacksonville Jaguars. For nearly 2 decades, the JTA has been making sure that Jaguars fans get to the stadium on time and without the traffic congestion and frustrating parking hassles. The JTA Stadium Shuttle service, considered among the best in the NFL, has been a Sunday staple since 1995. The service coordinator attributes that long-term success to just one thing.
We've remained consistent throughout the previous 18 years. We were truly successful during the 2005 Super Bowl, and that has carried on through today. The premier thing that we do through the shuttle system is we keep the streets safe. There's a lot of traffic that's taken off of the street, cars particularly, that will minimize the impact that it has on the city overall.
The JTA Stadium Shuttle is available at 6 locations throughout the area. Here's a list. There are 4 suburban locations. In Orange Park at the corner of Wells Road and State Road 17, that's in the Wachovia Bank parking lot. In Mandarin at Marvin and San Jose Boulevard. On the south side at JTB and Phillips Highway, and at the beaches at the Wingate Little League Park on Penman Road. Tickets for all suburban locations are $12 each. You can also use the 2 downtown area locations, the Kings Avenue Parking Garage or JTA's Convention Center lot. Tickets here will cost you $7 each. There is continuous service throughout the game from the Convention Center lot. Over the first 18 years, more than 1 million Jaguars fans have used the JTA Stadium Shuttle to get to the game. And that doesn't include the more than 250,000 trips that were taken in just 4 days during Super Bowl week. So as you might expect, the Stadium Shuttle has become a vital part of the game day experience for Jaguars fans. We're joined now by Making Moves senior correspondent Terry Casey. And Terry, you recently sat down and had an exclusive interview with Jaguars president Mark Lamping. So tell us about how he and Shad Khan really feel about this partnership with JTA, especially related to the stadium experience.
In a couple of words, they like it. I can tell you the Jaguars are very much aware of the value that the JTA brings to the football experience here in Jacksonville, and so are the fans who use the Stadium Shuttle service. Now, for the Jaguars' new leadership team of owner Shad Khan and President Mark Lamping, it is all about the fans. While new head coach Gus Bradley molds a winning team on the field, the Jaguars leadership is real busy thinking about this Sunday and a lot of Sundays into the future. There's a new intensity at Everbank Field, a renewed focus on winning on the field, and perhaps even more important for the Jaguars, creating a winning game day experience for the fans in the stadium. And that begins when they board a JTA Stadium Shuttle. It's been that way since the city got the franchise. But the Jaguars have a new front office, new direction, and a new way of thinking. President Mark Lamping handles all the business operations, everything except football.
The partnership that we have with JTA and the service they provide is a very, very important part of us giving our fans that experience.
I need 2 season passes, please.
The shuttle's fantastic to get the fans down to the stadium.
How long have you been using the shuttle?
Every game we go to.
been doing this for 8-9 years now. We love it because it beats all the traffic. We get in and we get out. It's nice and cool when we have the city buses.
Because it's convenient. I don't have to worry about parking down near the stadium and being in that crowd and the rush, and just like it better.
Here's your JTA season passes.
For each home game, the JTA Stadium Shuttle delivers between 6,000 and 8,000 hardcore fans to Everbank Field.
Go Jags!
With a mission to cheer the Jaguars on to victory.
It is a very, very important part of everything that we do here, and it has to continue to be so and probably become even more important in the future.
When it comes to the future, this undeveloped chunk of land along East Bay Street is important too. Now, it doesn't look like much, but the Jaguars see it as a front door.
We've talked quite a bit about what we need to do so that fans are more interested in coming to the sports complex. One part of that is the current area of the shipyards that's undeveloped. That's really the front door to the sports complex.
To get through that door, a transportation link from the core downtown to the shipyards would be important.
Not only would it provide daily connection to a development that could include condos, could include restaurants, could include hotels, it would also be a stop that's very close to the arena and very close to the baseball grounds and Everbank Field.
They're talking about the Skyway.
Extending the Skyway simply to get people to Everbank Field, I don't think that that's necessarily the right path to follow, but extending the Skyway to promote and encourage additional development along the St. Johns River, particularly the shipyard site, if that development becomes successful, and those people that want to take that type of transportation on event days, again, whether it's to the arena, the baseball grounds, or Everbank Field, that would be a great alternative.
Lamping projects steady improvement for the Jaguars over the next 5 years in a number of areas. But listen to this.
And building the display case where we are going to put the Vince Lombardi trophy.
So is that really included in the next 5 years?
Yeah. One thing great about the NFL is you never know what's going to happen.
I want to revisit the Stadium Shuttle service for a minute here. Perhaps the most important thing about it is that because so many fans do use it, it really allows the stadium lots to clear out quickly, at least compared to the massive traffic jams you might see in other NFL cities. And that, of course, is one of the reasons that Sports Illustrated readers voted Jacksonville's Stadium Shuttle service as the best in the NFL just a few years back. JTA really does have it down to a science.
Wow, and that's so exciting. But you know, in your story, which was very good, by the way, we heard Mark Lamping talk about the shipyards and how it could be vital to development of the sports complex area as well as downtown Jacksonville. But you know, interestingly enough, we've been hearing that the owner, Shad Khan, might want to do some kind of development himself. So did you all talk about that at all?
Well, interestingly is a well-chosen word because on the heels of our exclusive interview with Mark Lamping, owner Shad Khan confirmed what Lamping told us about the keen interest the Jaguars have in the shipyards as that front door to the sports complex, in addition to fueling economic life and vibrancy downtown. Khan said the Jaguars are talking with the city. City owns the land. But he wouldn't talk about details. A spokesman for Mayor Alvin Brown's office confirmed Khan has shown interest in developing the 40-acre shipyards property. Khan says he has hundreds of ideas to make the area a destination and reverse the exodus of people who go downtown to work and then wind up leaving. And he also says that life for the shipyards would be good news for all of downtown, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So there's still much more to come to this story. It's still developing. And of course, we'll just stay on top of it. Thank you so much, Senior Correspondent Terry Casey. Well, fresh off the completion of a brand new park-and-ride facility in southern Clay County, JTA is now looking west. Plans are in the works to build a similar but smaller park-and-ride facility in the town of Baldwin. JTA officials met with Baldwin residents last month to go over the location and design plans. The new facility would be located on property owned by the Florida Department of Transportation at the intersection of US 301 and US 90.
The FDOT already owned this, because originally they wanted to continue this road through, and they had already decided they weren't going to do that. So it was a very narrow piece of land that they already owned and really didn't have uses for anything else. And it was very central as well to the town of Baldwin, so it just worked out perfectly for this park and ride.
It's going to be the perfect place for the simple fact that you've got the I-10 corridor going into Jacksonville, and the majority of people in Baker County and western Duval County work in Jacksonville. But it's a perfect location. You've got the high school, the middle school, elementary school. You've got different businesses here, but it's a perfect place for people to meet and ride together or use JTA.
Baldwin, for a lot of people, you know, we're just right next door to Jacksonville, but sometimes it's hard for people to get into Jacksonville. I think about our senior adult population. Sometimes I think it would make it very easy for them to be able to park and to ride. It would be a good safety factor for them. They wouldn't have to get involved in all the traffic in Jacksonville and all.
There would be 21 parking spaces and a shelter. The Baldwin Park-n-Ride would be serviced by the new Baker County Wildcat Express shuttle, as well as JTA's transit services. JTA is also working with officials in St. Johns County to establish a new park-and-ride in that area. One of the goals of JTA's Chief Executive Officer Nat Ford and his new leadership team was improving communication. Well, the easiest way to do that is to talk with your customers and find out what they need and what they think of the current JTA service they're receiving. That's why JTA has several teams out at its transit hubs and other locations, talking to riders and gathering information. The data collection will be continuing through the end of September. JTA hopes to then use that information as a way to continue to improve its overall service. And still to come on Making Moves, we'll tell you why signs like these are popping up along some of Jacksonville's off-ramps. We'll continue our series on hurricane preparation as we show you how to better protect your home from disaster and how using interns for more than running errands can help your company thrive. Those stories and much more when Making Moves comes back.
There's no better place to be on game day than Everbank Field watching your hometown Jaguars. And there's no better way to get to the stadium than on the JTA Stadium Shuttle. Single game tickets start at just $7. Buy your tickets online at jtafla.com, at the JTA Admin Building downtown, or at any JTA Stadium Shuttle lot. The JTA Stadium Shuttle, your game day ride for 19 consecutive years.
Imagine taking a gondola ride through the canals in Venice, experiencing the breathtaking magnificence of the Eiffel Tower, or riding a legendary double-decker bus through the streets of London. For most of us, these are just dreams that will never come true, but they could. Think about saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year by doing one simple thing: parking your car and taking JTA instead. Save money, ride JTA, and make your dreams a reality.
You're watching the award-winning Making Moves, North Florida's premier source for transportation news and information.
Welcome Welcome back to Making Moves. If you've been wondering about the purpose of the group of small digital messaging signs near Interstate 95 that keep flashing FDOT test message, well, we can finally unlock that secret to you. The signs are part of a testing program being coordinated by the North Florida Transportation Planning Organization along with the Florida DOT. There are 17 signs total near I-95 between Bay Meadows Road and Emerson Street. The signs are designed to complement the huge messaging boards on the interstate that spell out delays and accidents.
The idea would be that folks on the interstate would see the large message sign to indicate that there's an incident and that they should divert to Phillips Highway. What these small signs are actually doing are reacting to that incident, and depending on which direction we want to send traffic, these could just be signs that show a digital arrow to turn right or something very small. What we're trying to do is just show them what route to take so they feel more comfortable when we have moved them off the interstate.
The TPO will be testing the signs over a several-month period to ensure that they have adequate data before implementing a full-scale program. These dynamic messaging boards are just the latest phase in a decade-long advancement of intelligent transportation systems being utilized here in the North Florida area, including traffic signal priority that we profiled here on Making Moves earlier this season. Those new signs may come in handy should a major weather event come our way. Here in North Florida, we all know that we're right in the heart of hurricane season. That means we always need to be prepared. As we continue our commitment to awareness and preparedness, we want to take a closer look at protecting your home on the inside and the outside. Making Moves' Eugene Lindsay gets some advice from a home improvement expert.
We're in that point of the hurricane season, September, October, and November, when the tropics really start to heat up. So now is the time to prepare. It could make all the difference should a storm come barreling through our area.
Because it does a couple of things. One, it puts electricity.
Pete Miller with Home Depot reminds us it's important to have a family plan for emergencies like hurricanes. The plan needs to include decisions on everything from supplies to have on hand to how to cover your windows and doors. You'll also need to decide whether or not you'll use a generator to temporarily power your home. But which one is right for you?
And then the smallest generator we normally run is about 3,500, like you see right here. That would typically run your minimal things such as a refrigerator, freezer, maybe a window air conditioner, some box fans, some lighting, a radio, and or TV. Just the things that are very essential.
Miller says it's important to know how to use a power tool before you need one during an emergency. Tools like chainsaws are helpful for cutting down fallen limbs, but if you're unfamiliar with a new power tool, the conditions after a storm could make it a hazard.
We actually have these little safety vests. If you're going to be out and about and it's dark outside, it'd be wise to wear one of these so somebody can see you out there, because the street lights will probably be out. Again, just a lot of it's precautions.
From one side of the store to another, Miller gives us a lesson on what's available to help protect windows and doors. Traditional plywood is most economical, but these days, there are more choices.
One additional option that's a little bit lighter and maybe not as much protection are these Lexan panels. There are clear ones, and you can cut them to size also to cover your openings and your doors. And they'd have to be mounted in with some sort of set screw into the frame of the door or window, and they come in different lengths and different widths. But it's much lighter weight. There's also a metal version of this type of paneling available, but it's a very strong fabric, and it will take impact, and obviously it's going to be stretched more tightly across your windows. You can see it'll take a pretty strong blow.
And of course, your family's hurricane supply kit must include plenty of food and water, but you'll also need lighting like these LCD flashlights and lanterns, plenty of batteries, maybe even a good weather radio, and possibly even walkie-talkies. Now, while having these supplies on hand before the storm is crucial, planning for safe and proper cleanup once the storm is over is just as important.
You want to have some dust masks with you, because if you get a lot of debris and dirt and things around in your house, say you got sheetrock that comes down or the ceiling falls down, you want to have some respirators. Worry about mold issues. You want to protect your breathing as well. Plan for recovery as well for the cleanup after the fact when you do have a storm. and you're going to need something other than kitchen garbage bags, something that's going to be heavy, that will take wet things, because wet items weigh a lot, and they're going to tear right through regular plastic bags.
For JTA Making Moves, I'm Eugene Lindsay.
Up next, how JTA is using its internship program to prepare future employees. And the stars were shining for Northeast Florida at a recent award show in Daytona. Who took home the gold? When we come back.
There's no better place to be on game day than Everbank Field watching your hometown Jaguars. And there's no better way to get to the stadium than on the JTA Stadium Shuttle. Single game tickets start at just $7. Buy your tickets online at jtafla.com, at the JTA Admin Building downtown, or at any JTA Stadium Shuttle lot.
The JTA Stadium Shuttle, your game day ride for 19 consecutive years.
Are you heading down the road of foreclosure, not sure what to do next? Don't worry, all is not lost. You may still be able to save your home, but you have to act now. Here's some important tips from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. First, don't ignore the problem. Contact your lender immediately and know your rights. Read and understand your mortgage documents and learn about your state's foreclosure laws. Do your research. Know your foreclosure options, including loss mitigation. Don't pay for foreclosure advice. It's readily available for free from your lender or calling a HUD-approved housing counselor. Prioritize your spending. Look for ways to cut expenses. And watch out for foreclosure recovery scams and companies claiming they can stop your foreclosure immediately. Whatever you do, don't sign any legal documents without checking with a trusted professional. Still unsure about where to start? Call this number and speak with a HUD-approved housing counselor today. Owning a home is still the American dream, and we're here to keep that dream alive.
We live in a global community where information can be delivered instantly. But having access to information and getting accurate information don't necessarily go hand in hand. That's where we come in. We are Making Moves, the First Coast's premier source for transportation news. At Making Moves, we strive to deliver timely, reliable, and pertinent information about the transportation stories that affect our community. From transit to roads, we've got it covered. Making Moves, now on Facebook.
You're watching the award-winning Making Moves, North Florida's premier source for transportation news and information.
Welcome back to Making Moves. Students are back in class now, facing the academic rigor of the 2013-2014 school year. But during the summer, 12 high school and college interns got a hands-on work experience and an up-close and personal look at transportation careers. And if history repeats itself, some of these students could be future transit professionals. They may be young, but they're getting an opportunity to earn money while gaining valuable job training as they work side by side in a professional setting. JTA participated in the city's summer intern program to give students a chance to stay productive while out of school. That was the tip of the iceberg for students like Chris Herring, who is a junior at Jacksonville University.
You learn that there is a broad spectrum of stuff that has to be done to actually run a transportation office.
Herring and his fellow interns worked throughout the transit system from administration to engineering, where they performed a number of jobs. Jackie Gibbs oversees the internship program for JTA.
And the goal really is to expose them to the inner workings of a transportation agency and to make them aware of the career potential here at JTA and really just expose them to the job market.
This summer was extra special for these interns. Not only did they have a chance to work at JTA, they were also able to attend the Conference of Minority Transportation Officials annual conference, which was held here in Jacksonville. It's an experience they will not soon forget.
Being able to participate in this internship has actually been really exciting. I've met a lot of people, being able to network, and I've met people that actually have attended FAMU, so they've given me like a great insight on a lot of different things.
It has been extremely empowering to see all of the leaders in the transportation system, and they have been really helpful and if I wanted to ask about school, so it's been really empowering and it's making me more focused on my future.
The summer internship program is all about exposure and, of course, career development for these students. But the real payoff for JTA and these young people is when they have the opportunity to become full-time employees.
When I first came in, I just made sure I showed up on time. I was attentive. I showed a willing and an eagerness to want to stay and be involved in anything. Anytime something was going on, I was always asking, hey, how can I help? How can I be of a benefit for you? Because I'm here to work for the team.
Robert Johnson is one of 2 former interns who now work in the Information Technology Department at JTA. Johnson says it was his willingness to work hard and do a good job as an intern back in 2008 that led to him being hired on by JTA, thereby coming full circle from student to professional. He has advice for anyone considering an internship.
Stay the course. If you're going to do it, do 110%. Give your all, give everything, and then more if you have the chance to, because you never know what it can turn into.
Time now for the last word, award. The Florida Commission for the Transportation Disadvantaged has bestowed the JTA with its Innovation of the Year award. JTA's Liz Peak accepted the award on behalf of the authority at the Commission's 21st Annual Awards Banquet held recently in Daytona. The Innovation Award is in recognition of JTA's work in developing a regional transportation system in North Florida, including work on a one-call, one-click regional information center aimed at assisting veterans gain access for transportation to jobs, medical appointments, and much more.
One Call, One Click actually extends the technology to our passengers and social service agencies that support our passengers. But the foundation is this regional scheduling system that's connecting all these different service providers together using one software to coordinate trips.
Clay County Commissioner Doug Conkey, who served on the Regional Transportation Study Commission, was honored as Elected Official of the Year, while Kathy Brown, the Executive Director of the St. Johns County Office on the Aging since 1999, was presented with the Commission's Lifetime Achievement Award. So congratulations to all of our local winners. Your work, of course, is so inspiring. And that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. Remember, if you missed any part of the show or just want to watch it again, complete episodes of Making Moves are always available online at jtafla.com and on our YouTube channel, JTA 904. You can also find exclusive web-only content on our Facebook page, so be sure to check it out. That's facebook.com/JTA Making Moves. For the entire Making Moves team, I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. We'll see you the next time we're making moves.